Alright, welcome back to the channel. Today I got to do a quick oil change on the camper's generator. It's a Cummins Onnan RV QG 4000 EVAP. I don't know what all that means other than it is a gas powered, I believe 4,000 watts max output. It runs off of the toy hauler's fuel station. It's just single fuel, just gas. It's not dual fuel gas propane. But last weekend, I was boondocking and I started the generator up just to run it for a little bit, and the light was flashing. So I looked at that code. It says service. I got thinking about it. I've not changed oil since I had this. I bought it brand new. It's just shy of 3 years old. I've got about 40 hours on the generator, and I do run it periodically. Just to run it, put a load on it, you know, because it's not good to just sit. So I looked up the service on it, and I actually had to get, it came with the CD. It didn't come with a paper manual. It came with the CD. So I found it and looked at the service requirements, and yeah, so like the oil and everything, you know, oil change is supposed to be every 150 hours, or numbers 2, 3, and 4. So you look at the little subnotes 2, 3, and 4. Perform more often when operating in dusting environment, perform more often when operating in hot weather, and perform at least once a year. So I'm not at the 100 and some hours, but I am definitely beyond the once a year. So I figured oil change, I've already checked the air cleaner, that's fine. Figure oil change and spark plug won't hurt. So I've got everything pretty much staged. Got my tools, T30 to get the access to the plug, the oil drain plug, ratchet and the socket for the spark plug, some other miscellaneous tools, my drain pan. I already checked I'll show you in a minute where the drain plug is for the oil. I swear to God, the engineers that come up with this stuff, they ain't very friggin' bright. You can tell they never work on anything. So what we're gonna do, open this up. The drain plug is actually down in there. You access it from underneath. But plug wires right here, spark plugs right here, oil fill. So it's fairly easy to get to. I already got the spark plug, checked the gap on it already, so that's good to go. So now let's just get the plug wire off, get the plug out of there, and I'm going to replace the plug, and then start it, run it for a few minutes to heat the oil up just a little bit so it will drain. I don't want to get so hot that I burn myself. Of course, they don't make the plug super easy to access. I suppose if you got little kid hands maybe, but it's not too terribly bad. Oh, jeez. Yeah, it's one of those things you just gotta twist and turn until you finally find an angle that you can get to it. Dropping everything. So I'm kind of curious. It must have fallen on that. There's no way that gap was that small. I wanted to see what the gap was on this. But, so here's the old plug. It looks a little dirty, but it's not horrific. Like I said, I already verified the gap on the new plug. So let's see if we can get that up in there. Not easy when you can only turn it about 1/8 of a turn. All right. 13 foot-pounds, 10 pounds, 156 inch-pounds. Oh, that's 45. All right, so 45. There would be 50. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 56. Now let's see if I can get this in there. There we go. Couldn't pull the whole thing out. I had to pop the torque wrench off the socket. Alright, so the plug wire is reattached. Let's prime it. Try that again. All right, so I'm going to let that run for a few minutes, get that oil warmed up, and then I'll change the oil, and I'll pop out the plug from the bottom of the spark arrestor and run it and let it blow out the spark arrestor. And that's what the maintenance calls for. So yeah, I'll just let that run for a few minutes and we'll be back. Okay, so we're let it run for like 5 minutes or so. just enough to warm it up some, not too much. Get that oil flowing. I didn't have my drain pan ready. All right, so under here, there's a little access plate right there. So there's two T30s. Loosen them up and swing this out of the way to get to the drain plug. So let's pop this one out. There you go. You can see the drain plug up in there. But you can see that drain plug is right above the frame. Now why they couldn't move this out just 2 more inches. 2 inches. Would have made things easier. So what I've done, if I can find it, I just happen to have an old, what do you call it, a 1-quart oil container that, for I don't know what reason, but for some reason I'd already cut it in half. So I just took and modified it, cut this off. So when I pull the plug, I'll put this kind of up on the frame to catch the oil and let it run out here into my drain pan. So let's get this stuff out of the way and get under there and drain some oil. See if I can zoom in on that. So that drain plug is right up in there. I don't know how well you're going to be able to see it. Out of the way. That right there. Oh, jeez. let me need a ratchet with the need a bigger ratchet. I'll be right back. Alright, so I got a 3/8 drive. There we go. Just need a little more leverage. Alright. I already anticipate this being a mess. Idea where this oil is going to land. Hopefully I keep from making too much of a mess. Well, it's mostly working. Sometimes you got to be creative. Okay, so we'll let that drain. Only holds 1.5 quarts, like I think 1.6 quarts. So it shouldn't be a whole lot to drain out. So I think we've got about as much drained out as it's gonna drain. Snug that up. I'll look up the torque spec and torque that down. Alright. Just takes 30 weight. If you're running in hot environments or real cold environments, it tells you what other oils to use, but whoa. Okay, don't dump it in too fast. And then what do? I dump it in too fast again. Oh, jeez. Let me finish this and clean that out. All right, so we got the oil changed. I was gonna do the maintenance on the spark arrestor, which is basically pull the plug out of the bottom of it and run it for a few minutes under load. But it's hard to get to because it's kind of up in there, and I've got to figure out a way to get it off. I've just got a short 11mm wrench, so I got to find like a piece of pipe to put on the end of it as a cheater bar. But in the meantime, I'm gonna, since it's got fresh oil and a spark plug, I'm gonna let it run for a while. I turned the AC on so it's under load, so I'm just gonna let it run for, the book says to run it for 2 hours under load if you don't run it on a regular basis. But knowing that I just recently used it, I'm going to be using it probably next weekend, and be, with any luck, using it several times over the next couple months. I'm really not worried about running it for a full 2 hours, but I want to let it run for, I don't know, at least 30 minutes or so. Cycle fresh fuel through there, burn up some of that fuel I have in the tank, because I run the ethanol free gas, and I normally get it at Cenex, but that's only, I think, what, 87 octane. But down here at Bear Creek store, they've got the ethanol free 92 octane. So I just dumped 5 gallons of that in a week ago, so I want to burn up some of that gas that's been in there. I had fuel stabilizer in it. It still works, so I want to burn some of that up, and you know, probably go down to Bear Creek this week, get another 5 gallons. Unfortunately, those pumps aren't the easiest to get to, so I really can't pull this down to get it. So I just, you know, put it in a gas can and dump it in. It's not that bad. So yeah, I'm just gonna let this run for, like I said, probably 45 minutes. Get some runtime on it, and then shut it down. So that's it for this RV maintenance tip. If you've never changed oil in your generator and it's overdue, I suggest you do it. It's not that difficult, and it'll make it last, and hopefully it'll be there when you do need it. All right, so Dan's Outdoor Adventures out.